Hey bookworms, welcome back to my channel and to another review. We are officially out of Halloween, but I still have this quasi-haunted house review for you. And just a heads up, my next review is going to be of a similar genre. I was just on a roll with those spooky books lately. So today I'll be reviewing Mexican Gothic by Mexican-Canadian author Silvie Moreno-Garcia. This book was really popular when it came out and I wanted to wait a little before reading it, and apparently a year was all that I could manage. So Mexican Gothic takes place in Mexico in the 1950s, and I believe it's actually exactly the year 1950 if I'm not mistaken. And our protagonist is Noemi, a young, pretty, rich girl who mostly cares about parties and dating and fashion. By the way, I did look up the pronunciation of the Spanish version of the name and I assumed it wouldn't be like the English Naomi, and I came up with Noemi. If I'm mispronouncing it, do let me know. So our Noemi receives a letter from her cousin Catalina, who is begging Noemi to come and help her. Catalina married into an English family and claims that her life is in danger by her own husband, Virgil. Noemi then travels to the little village where Catalina and her husband's family live to see, maybe she had a nervous breakdown, maybe it's post-wedding jitters, maybe she just misses her family. But when Noemi arrives at the house, she starts suspecting that there's something sinister going on with this entire family, and this something might be supernatural. Now, on its face, this book looks like your average, run-of-the-mill haunted house story, combined with the ever-beloved "are there ghosts or is she crazy" theme. But this novel is so much more. Let me start by saying that I read this book in about 3 days. I just couldn't put it down. It's not just interesting plot-wise, but also written superbly. If you are a fan of this genre, simply go ahead and read this book. It was a page-turner, so engaging, interesting, unique enough not to be repetitive, yet still relying on the genre tropes. And it was very creepy. And no spoilers, but I even liked the ending. But now, as always, I'll go into a bit more detail. A big theme in the book is the subject of race, genetics, eugenics, but it's presented in a very unique way. You see, usually Gothic horrors take place in England, if not other European country, and mostly the villain is a foreigner. In Mexican Gothic, which takes place in Mexico, we have two Mexican damsels in distress, and the villains are English. The entire approach and the question of race or racism or which genetic racial traits are better is just so unique here, and I absolutely loved it. Also, Noemi is such a kick-ass. The way she responds to this racism by her host family is priceless. Which is a good segue to talk about our heroine, Noemi. At first, honestly, I thought I would either really dislike her or that she will be a spoiled brat who learns her lesson by the end of the story and changes her lazy ways. But I ended up really liking her. When we first meet her, we see how frivolous, rich, spoiled, flirty she is, and my brain simply completed a stereotype. But while Noemi is indeed rich and indeed loves the fun that life has to offer, that's not all she is. She's smart, she's cunning in a business-like way. She could be a great businesswoman. She's very loyal to her family, and she has a high society education that taught her how to be pleasant and cordial and to say the right thing, even if you feel your life is in danger. And these really came in handy in this book. Also, she's really good-hearted and kind, and she eventually pretty much saves the day because the importance of saving her cousin is stronger than her fear of whatever it is that causes the trouble. I don't want to say a lot more about this book because I think that what I already said should be enough for you to realize whether this book is for you or not, and the rest should be a surprise. However, I do want to also mention another theme of the book, one that connects the supernatural and the natural elements. It has to do with the fear factor of the book, the scary element, the monster, ghost, curse whatever it is that causes the chaos, and I won't reveal what it is in this review, but you do get what I mean, I hope. I already mentioned that it has to do with race, but that's just on the surface. As Noemi arrives at Virgil's house, she doesn't really know yet what the problem is. But as Noemi realizes that something weird is going on and she just wants to at least get Catalina out of the house, we see the sad reality of life in the 1950s that has nothing to do with fantasy. The casualness of domestic abuse. All Virgil has to do is say no, and Catalina stays with him, whether she wants to or not, whether he is abusive or not, whether she wants to visit her family for 2 days or run away forever. And the law is on his side. In my opinion, this reality of absolute power over another human being as if she is just an object that belongs to him, that's what's really scary. So needless to say, another theme in the book regards domestic abuse or emotional abuse and the prospects of women at those times, you know, what they could aspire to in life and how much freedom they had. It's not preachy, don't worry, but it's still there, and it is very interesting because we do have a heroine who is rich and she has a mind of her own, and theoretically she can do almost anything she wants. Or can she? As I mentioned, this book takes ideas and tropes we already know and brings a very interesting twist to them, which is one of the reasons I really loved it. So let's end this video here. I really enjoyed Mexican Gothic. It's creepy but not cheesy. It's based on things we already know but made new and interesting. It takes place in a country and time that Gothic horror rarely takes place in, and therefore brings new life to this genre. I full-heartedly recommend it. So guys, that's it for my review on Mexican Gothic. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to click the like button to show your support, and also subscribe to my channel if you dare. And also write down in the comment section below if you have a recommendation for a horror book or any other genre that relies on genre tropes, but at the same time did a twist on them. I'm curious to see what you guys would recommend. Again, bookworms, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.